I would say the definition of what content was a few years ago for a marketer was the opportunity to talk about your brand attributes, the opportunity to talk about your products and your services, the opportunity to talk about yourself.
The big change that's impacting marketing right now is the buyer. It's all about the buyer, and that has a couple implications to it.
So what's really key from our vantage is sitting back and saying, where is the buyer in their journey? And then delivering the content to them that's going to be most valuable. Realizing that they have multiple sources and they've done a lot of homework before they've even gotten to you.
The pivot that content marketing has brought to the equation is that suddenly marketers are forced to think about how do they talk in a language that resonates with their buyers and make the starting point of that story about what the buyer cares about as opposed to what the marketer cares about.
But how do I watch that from that awareness all the way down through to my pipeline and my closes? That becomes key. So we leverage Aberdeen oftentimes very clearly early in terms of that awareness cycle. We then also tie that in very specifically in using the content and the materials that we get and the data that we get from Aberdeen on the selection phase.
From a content perspective, there's just a huge demand for impactful content, relevant content, meaningful content, not just the same old data sheets or testimonials or case studies, but the content that drives a business result that's meaningful to prospects.
I think at the end of the day, the strength of the Aberdeen Group brand rests in its ability to help buyers along their decision-making journey, and ultimately that should become the goal of the savvy marketer today as well.
The marketer who doesn't understand the importance of data, the criticalness of content, and tying that data with that content to a persona and a buying cycle, and then measuring it, will not be here in the very near future.